All right. Yo, Henry, how's it going, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Good. You have a good week?
Yep.
Yeah. Nice. Basketball's coming. Pretty
Mon-
excited.
Monday.
Monday, yeah. Yeah, we got that big ticket tournament, and hopefully we'll pull some games out and show them what grade 11s and a couple grade 12s can do.
I'm really excited for this. First game of the season opener. It's a good showcase for us, especially Salish. They keep bringing us down. Last year wasn't good, but I think we can pull some strings this year. Ari Mountain. I've had a couple good showings against their head coach. Great battles. So I'm expecting something for Monday night.
And speaking of big tickets, our guest today is Damien. Damien from LA Matheson, 6'7", with a 6'11" wingspan. How you doing, man?
I'm doing great, man. How are you guys doing today?
We're doing good.
Good, good, good. Yeah, thanks for joining us. This Athletes Chronicle podcast that Henry and I are doing. The whole idea for what we're doing is we're trying to get elite athletes on the show to show more of what they are as a person. They got the highlights. I've seen a bunch of highlights from you dunking on people, but it's good to get to know who Damien is. And before we go, how do you actually pronounce your last name?
My last name is pronounced Onokpite. So just like O knock and then Pite. Yeah.
Pite, right on Onokpite. Okay, so tell me, Damien, what's your upbringing? Where are you? Have you lived in Surrey your whole life? Like, what got you to where you are today?
Actually, like my upbringing, I love telling this story, to be honest, is like I used to move a lot. So ever since I can like remember, like I would spend like a year or like two at schools, at elementary schools, and then we'd have to move. So like I've lived from Coquitlam to Main Street to like even in like in the middle of Vancouver and New West. But like most of my key memories were like from grade 2 to 5 before I came to Surrey, where I moved like once every year. I even lived in Calgary at that time, and like twice actually. And when I came back, it was kind of just like getting to know people. So I feel like I'm really like outgoing since I've had to move school so much. So I just like I find like seeing quiet people. I like talking to them and making new friends. So when I got to grade 5, that's when I came to Surrey like officially, and I've just been in Surrey ever since.
Okay,
Oh,
so you're at LA Matheson right now,
Yeah.
and you've been there since grade 8.
I've been there since grade 8, yeah. I've moved houses from my old place, but I still decided to stay there.
how are you liking LA Matheson?
And Ellie Matheson, I feel like I'm one of the like key role models, Like a lot of students, like the younger students know about me and just like they always like say hi and whatnot. So like I just kind of like having that like older like responsibility to just like say hi to the little kids and just like encourage them whenever they like need to. Some kids ask me to like make TikToks with them, and some of them just say hi and then say what's up. So I kind
TikTok.
of just like having that. Yeah.
It's different world when I was in high school, man. No TikToks, no social media, no cell phones, no cameras everywhere. It's that's awesome. That's awesome. Have you always been a basketball player?
I would not say that actually. I was definitely like a soccer player at one point in my life, but like from the footage mom used to post YouTube videos on me, I was always playing basketball as a kid. Like I'd have a mini hoop while I'm watching TV, or I'd just be like having the hoops on the doors, and then she like record me playing basketball as a kid. So I feel like it was always destiny. Even though I did go to soccer for a time, it was destiny to play basketball.
Right on. Have you always been tall for your age?
Yeah, I've been pretty tall. I always thought I was going to be short, though. One of my old teachers at elementary, she was always taller than me, but I started to see like a sprout after I got to grade 8.
Right on. When did you start realizing that basketball was a sport you wanted to just kind of focus on?
Definitely, I think it was grade 6 for sure. We were on the basketball team just like before COVID. So I was on the grade it was a grade 6 and 7 basketball team, and I wasn't really into basketball all that much, but like I had so much fun playing in an elementary school, and like I was just with all my friends, and then at the end of everything, like even though we like didn't get like even third place in this like a play date thing they used to have,
Yeah.
I just like realized like I really liked the sport and I wanted to just take it further and like try to make it to the NBA because that's also like the time where the Raptors were doing good and like I really got to see basketball more and more. So that's actually why my jersey number is 11 because like I decided that when I was 11 years old I want to become like a professional basketball player.
Wow.
Oh, those are the stories that get you somewhere because there's history. You're not just picking a number off of a shelf. That's pretty sweet. So do you kind of when you started playing and really focus, is there someone that you try to kind of emulate your game from?
Oh yeah, as a kid I always loved Vince Carter. I always tried to, dunk, but I didn't really have like, the right. I don't know. I didn't train legs that much, so I couldn't really jump like that. But I always tried to emulate Vince Carter. But as I like grew up, I just started to see like other players' games. I started like to take things from them. Like I tried to take some things from Kyrie Irving, from AI. Like back then when my ball handling wasn't as good, I tried to simulate like training like them. And then as I kept getting older, like and grew into like my body more and my height, I started to like look at players like Pascal Siakam, look at players like the taller players. Like sometimes I'd watch like Dwight Howard's high school highlights, and just like Josh Christopher's high school highlights too. So like players like that.
That's an elite goal, Josh Chris.
Yeah, Josh Christopher is definitely like one of my favorite players to watch because I feel like he's so like two way, but he can also like shoot the ball. He's like a good defensive player.
I kind of see a little bit of your game after him. Like whenever like you get like a running dunk, you're always dunking it like that. Yeah, I see that. What's one thing like outside of basketball wise? What's like a hobby you love to
A
like?
hobby I love to do? Oh, I love to do lots of things like cooking. I love cooking for sure. I feel like I kind of grew up cooking with my parents a lot. So, and my grandma even has a restaurant. So I was always surrounded by food. So just like the joy of like finishing like a dish that you created is really nice. And then outside of basketball, I'd say just like gaming or like watching like shows, like a lot of TV shows. Yeah.
What kind of game? What kind of gaming? What's your game?
Oh, definitely 2K. 2K and Fortnite and then Brawlhalla sometimes. Those are definitely in the top three games. I just loved playing 2K ever since like 2K20. If you know 2K20, yeah, that's elite pool right there. Prime COVID days, yeah, I used to play like every day. And my build at the time was like a two-way finisher. So straight finishing and defense. And then like I feel like as I grew up, like I kind of like noticed I was playing like my 2K builds, so I kind of just like wanted to add certain things to my 2K builds to like also simulate in real life because you know you're playing pro in the game. Why can't you play pro in real life? You know what I mean?
I like that.
Hey,
I
why
like that.
not?
I like.
What's your day? So getting into where you are today, like what's kind of your training schedule? What do you do to get better at your game today?
Oh yeah, um, for sure. Like since grade 8, when I started to like really see how serious basketball was in high school and how serious like I was gonna have to take it to get to that next level. Since grade 8, I've been going to school in the mornings, like waking up at 6 a.m. Even though I live like 40 minutes away. I wake up 6:30, I get there by 7:30, just training in the mornings like for like an hour to 2 hours with my teammates because some of my teammates used to come. We'd shoot. We do like 10 shots like around the perimeter in 7 spots, and then right after we'd go into ball handling, and then right after we'd go into like game simulation shots. So like going off a hezzy pool, running to a spot, or even just like playing the ones just to like sharpen up like everyone's bags. So that was something that I've noticed we've done since grade 8. And then outside of just like going in the mornings like that and having that strict schedule, I'd say like I'd used to have like trainings for basketball like after school. So it'd be like school basketball. club basketball, and then the classes I'm taking also like attribute to that. Because I have one of my PE teachers, he used to be like a personal trainer. I'd have him kind of tailor it towards like my sport. So the exercise that we'd be doing in that class would also help like with my sport. So like we'd do like some days it's straight legs, and then if it's not straight legs, we'd add plyometrics to the straight legs, going outside and jumping and training. So just getting my body prepared for the season. Like if I showed you the difference from like this year in my strength and like the last 2 years, I'd say I jumped like double, if I'm being honest, or even triple.
I can testify to that. I remember the G2 days. That's when
Yes.
me and Ben used to pop out like here, right? We played with them a bit. I remember the first time I saw Damien. I think I'm one of the few people who can actually like testify to like his growth and his actual leaping ability, like all his game throughout. So I remember like when did I first meet? I think it was grade 8 or 9, and he was like a little bit on the chubbier end. He could move. It was like, and he was like he wasn't shy. He wanted to always get better. He would always play against get better. He would always play against the older G2 teams, but it was like he get pushed around and he didn't like it. One thing I noticed about him, he never gave up. It's the persistence. Just not Damien was never that type of kid who was like, let's take five. Let's take a break. I'm not having it. He always came back. The next practices, he would come back. I remember a time where he played. I think you jumped the gun. You played a year up, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then that's when he was playing with Gibbs's main team. And that's when I started to see the growth. Like, his court awareness got better, his handle ability, the way he's able to get to the rack, he's able to get to his spots, on the and the keys. His defense coordination was perfect. His footwork got better. And now, we look at I think it was just was it in July or June when you put some kid in a poster, like, come on. I'm proud of your work ethic. I can't wait to play with you against you this season. I think that's gonna be a battle, to be honest.
Yeah, man, we got to come up with a strategy.
Yeah.
Just before we started, I was talking to Dame, and he was telling me that his average height on his team, our smallest guy's like 6'1", 6'2".
That's the Filipino guy, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. Yep.
And then you have a buddy who's like a shorter than you or taller than you or same height.
He's just a bit shorter than me. He's 6'5", I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Joven, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a
So
battle. I'll
So
never
you
shy
you were
away
you
from
were
a
talking.
battle.
Oh, sorry. So you were talking about like the training and stuff that you do. So what challenges as a basketball player have you had to overcome?
Training, I'd say for sure, just like not having like the amount, like the money to like get that like one-on-one like training, like specifically like to tailor to me, like just having that personal trainer. Like for basketball would always suck. Like, but I've always felt like I'd overcome that because some of the athletes I've seen like that were always better than me, that always have private trainers and stuff. As the years go on, I just felt like even though they are progressing like this, when I was like here, I'd see it like the next year I'm like this, and I'm still going. So just even though I don't have like the funds to get like to certain trainers and stuff, I felt like my work ethic and just like me like being wanting to be the best in everything I do just helped overcome that. If even if it's by myself, even if it's at practices and stuff, I'd always try to come early. Like especially when I was just starting out, I try to come early and get training done. Like if you guys know Keone's Sako, that
yeah,
the kid that has like 5D1 offers, I remember back in grade 10 drive practices, he'd always come early and I'd always come early because I'd come straight from school, right? And then I'd always see him just like shooting around and stuff. Like I'd always ask him, or he'd always ask me, like, do you want to play the ones? And we just go at it at each other before practices even like started. And then when practice started, that's when you see everyone come in and like me and him already like ready to just go at each other and just like play against every one of the competition that was there. And I was in the gym with some like elite players, like even like some of them are playing D2 right now, SFU. Zaru's playing at UBC, and just like players like that, I was always kind of like I always loved to be around them, so I could just like know how to like guard all five positions like whenever I get switched on to them, which is like as I'd say, defense is one of my biggest things. So even though like I didn't have the funds to get some things, I always like had the confidence to know that I'm gonna get to where I want to be someday.
The confidence, the maturity, the the practicing with intent. Those are things that I see that a lot of people don't go to the gym with, right? They just go and they just want to chuck a bunch of shots. And that doesn't help you get any better. It does nothing for you. But if you have the intent, the maturity, the drive, the athleticism, training helps for sure. But if you don't have that core skill and that core want and the core maturity, it's going to be tough to keep moving. So good on you.
Hey, Damien. So what's game day like for you? Like, what's free risk or going?
Well, one thing like for AAU and for high school ball that I've noticed that I do a lot is like definitely like an hour before the game, I make sure I'm off my phone and I'm just locked in on like the present and the future, you know. I don't want to worry about the past. I just worry about the present and the future. So I'll be off of my phone. I'll get some like ball handling in like beforehand or something like that, or I'll watch film like 2 hours before a game. Make sure I'm like full. Like if I eat, it has to be an hour before the game. If I drink a lot of water, it has to be an hour before the game because that whole hour up to the game is like the most important part for me. So just being on my phone and being in the moment is also like really important. And especially with AAU and team basketball, I like to like have to listen to like music out loud. Like if someone's playing music, I'll listen to that music, and if I know the song, I'll sing it out loud. Even if there's no music, I'll just kind of like sing songs I know like by memory out loud. You can ask all of my AAU teammates from B1 Nationals, like when I was on BC Energy. We were in the hallway, like in a semifinal game or the final game, and I was literally just like singing like sicko mode, and everyone was joining in, you know, everyone was getting hype. And it kind of like transferred the energy like from me towards them and got them like even more excited instead of being like, oh, here's a big game. Oh, I got to think about this, that. And kind of being just in the moment, just like, let's go have fun, but also like play with confidence, you know?
Energy is huge. When you have energy and you can bring up anybody else's energy or everybody's energy, then everyone just feeds off of each other. So that's good that you can do that. That's really mature. So what are your Damien, what are your goals for yourself and what are your goals for your team this year?
Okay, there's definitely like some really big goals for the team this year, and also for me individually. You know, for me individually, it's not only about like this basketball year. I'm also thinking about like my future and like my goals I have ahead of myself. So this year is kind of not only the time to have fun, but also the time to like prove like I'm one of the best out here in the Lower Mainland and probably all of BC. So definitely for myself this season is probably to dominate, you know, have teams having to get a scouting report on me, having to make teams change their whole playing style just so they can like stop me from like getting to like my spots or like getting the amount of points I know I can get each game and still being able to like fight through all that adversity, even if it's the coaching, the refs that are against me, or like even the players. If players want to chip in my ear, I still want to dominate and just like show like I'm one of the best out there and like no one can mess with me and just like working towards like my team goals too. When when I have such like small goals, when I have a big goal I had in my mind, I like to have like small goals that I like to reach like step by step to get to that big goal. So not only do the goals I have this season align with like my team because I'm really like team player, but it also aligns with myself. Like winning tournaments, right? Just to start off, we have a tournament next week. I mean this week actually on like Thursday, QE tournament. Just these little tournaments. I want to win these tournaments. I want to play these teams and beat these teams. You know, get our ranking higher, get a bigger target on our backs, so we can just go out into the playoffs and whatever we need to do, and just like have those other teams like be scared of us. You know, so winning these tournaments is one thing. Getting getting our placement and rankings is another thing. Uh, Going to RCMP, you know, being undefeated in some areas of the game. Like, you know, fall league, we didn't come out like undefeated entirely, but we still went 7-1, which is pretty good for me. But like for these next few months, I want to try and keep that undefeated record and just have like the best record our school's ever seen, especially because our school has never been a basketball school, right? So if we can establish something like and get a big accomplishment, I feel like it would be big for our school because our school's been in like this in like standing for like 50 years, no basketball things until I was in grade 10. We won series and South Frasers back to back. That's the only basketball banner they have up there. So just making like history at our school is also a big thing for me and the team.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Henry, but I'm not looking forward to playing LA Matheson.
I'm looking forward to that. I'm very much. Me and Damien have talked about this like throughout this summer and last summer. I'm excited. It's gonna be a battle. It's gonna be a battle. Like I remember Damien telling us that his shortest player is 6'1", so it's gonna be hard, especially in the blocks. In the post is gonna be hard for our guys, but it should be something to work with though.
Dame, what are your postseason or your post high school goals?
Well, I have obviously my biggest goal is to play at like the biggest level, which is at the moment for me is D1 NCAA. So for my post year goals, I feel like I'm definitely going to play another year of AAU, like in the States, down the States, try to pick up like whatever offers I can get. And I already am talking to some U Sports coaches and also some D2s coaches. I'm never shying away from talking to a coach, right? Because I feel like whatever opportunity that's brought to me, I should consider it and not only look at like the whole entirety of it, but also look at like other options. Just keep my like pool open so that I'm not just focused zoned in on one thing. So if I have to go U Sports, I will go U Sports. If I have to go D2 or D3 even, I will, or JUCO, I will go JUCO. But my goal is to play at the highest level, which is D1 basketball. And my dream school that I've always been, even if it's academics, is definitely UNC. So for post secondary, like if I need to take a prep year, I would definitely take a prep year. Just have that training to get to the next level, and then U Sports D2, D3, JUCO, and like take my time developing as a player because I know myself like really well. I can develop with time and effort. You know, as I've seen like coming in high school in grade eight, I was not that good at all. You can ask Henry on G2. I was just like a random kid. I've never played like team basketball like that. I've only played outdoors. And as I started like seeing other kids that are better than me just be at this level right here, I just kept going and kept going and kept going with like effort and just the discipline to keep going above them. So that's what I like to keep in my head is like no matter what position I'm put in, I'm always going to try and excel in that position.
Wow.
Yeah, just keep getting bigger and stronger, man. Just keep at it, and things are gonna go well for you. I can already tell just by talking to you. We met once or twice before, but you hold yourself really well. You're mature, you speak well, and you're humble, and you've got drive and you've got goals. So keep at it, and that's gonna be fantastic for you.
Security is what separates you in this game of basketball.
Yeah. So I just want to say thanks for joining us. We got our last little quick hitter. I know we did it a little bit yesterday, so I've changed a couple questions. Some are the same, some are different, just because of the technical difficulty. And I do appreciate you coming back to kind of hit that last third segment for us. So here we go. We got our 8 quick hitters. You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay. Favorite movie?
Favorite movie? I just watched Now You See Me, Now You Don't. That's definitely my favorite movie at the moment.
Oh, right on. Favorite subject at school?
Math and PE.
Favorite superhero?
Ooh, that's a good one. I'd say Iron Man, to be fair. Iron Man.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Best athlete at LA Matheson, not named Damien.
I'd say it would be a tie between Jason and Jaden Shergill. Yeah, those two are really
Okay.
good.
Go-to meal?
Go-to meal, Alfredo pasta for sure, or mm, some sushi. Yeah,
Sushi.
Wow.
Favorite musician?
great. Travis Scott for sure, or Drake. Travis Scott or Drake for sure.
Okay. Dream job. Dream job. If you could do
Dream
anything.
job. I could do anything. I would say, yeah, I think I'd do coach, like a basketball coach. Like head coach of like a NBA team. That would be like a dream come true.
Okay. Final question. Go. Jordan, LeBron, or somebody else?
You know what? My man Jordan's a GOAT. Come on.
Jordan's the
Undebatable.
go.
Undebatable.
There we, there we go. We're going to keep that stat going and see what people say as time goes on. So I just want to say thank you for joining us. thank you for coming back and kind of re-editing a little bit of this. And we look forward to seeing where the season brings you. We look forward to just watching you grow.
Yeah, thank you for having me again. That was a lot of fun, guys.
All right, right on. Okay, we'll talk to you later, guys. Thanks
All
again.
right. See you.
Okay, good luck. Bye bye.